What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss more content like this if you do enjoy it. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. In today's video, this is a very much requested one. A lot of people have been asking me to do my own full walk around of the Mark IV Supra that you see behind me. We previously did a similar style video in collaboration with Throtl. A lot of you know that I do work there. They did a reviewing of employees' cars, and we did feature this vehicle in the last episode. I'll put a link to that in the description. There might even be a notation somewhere on the screen. So we're just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start with the exterior of the vehicle because that's the first thing that you're going to see. A lot of you have seen the livery of this car. As far as we know, this car used to be owned by Veilside as a demo car in the early 2000s. It's a little hard to find the proper documentation to back that up, but we've spoken with a lot of people that have been around and they're pretty sure that that is the case. You're going to notice a lot of Veilside bits, including this body kit on the car. Now, this body kit consists of the front bumper, full replacement fenders, the hood, side skirts, the rear bumper, and as well as the wing. Now, this wing causes for a lot of controversy in the car community. Some people hate it, some people love it, and I could even argue the same thing for the whole kit. The entire purpose of this car is to remain that period correct image, and I think this kit really just hits the head of the nail for what it should have been in the early 2000s or even late 90s. Going to the wheels are a newer addition to this car. They are TE37s, 18 by 9.5 squared. I believe the offset's a plus 35. We just put these on today. I actually purchased these not long after I bought the car earlier this year, before we had the Volk CE28s. I'll post a picture probably here, just showing what those wheels look like. I think these look a little more aggressive. Paired with that, we have the Greddy collaboration big brake kit. Obviously, with a car that you relatively want to have power, you need to be able to have that stopping to back it up. These do the job very well, and they look dope. It's gold, you got black. It's a sick combination. So here's a cool option a lot of people aren't aware of. I get asked about this all the time. This is an OEM Toyota factory edition rear roof spoiler. You used to be able to get this from Toyota. They're a little harder to find now. This one's got some blemishes to it. I've been trying to find a newer one. Hopefully, since Toyota launched their heritage program, we might be able to find one somewhere soon. If you guys happen to find one, let me know and I'll buy it. So for the front end of the car, again, it is a Veilside front bumper. We have the blacked out 98 version headlight. Previously, this one had headlights on it, but it also had the eyelids that come with the Veilside kit. I wasn't too crazy about those. I took them off, and then upon removing them, I found blemishes to the lens and everything, and nobody wants a crappy looking headlight. So we got brand new ones. Luckily, I found a guy local here in California that had them, and I got a pretty good deal on them as well. So I'll pop the hood.
Pop the hood. Pop the hood? Pop the hood.
So under the hood, we have the 2JZ GTE.
2JZ engine, no shit.
And what did I tell you?
This is a non-VVTi model. There's a lot going on in this engine bay. For starters, we are rolling on Tane suspension. With the suspension, we also have the EDFC hooked up. For those that don't know, the EDFC is essentially an electronic module that I have inside of the car. I can adjust the dampening, how stiff the suspension rolls, and they're really privy to doing that in Japan because obviously a lot of people do the toge running and mountain driving and stuff like that, so it's easier to adjust those on the fly than it is having to get out and make those manual adjustments. Some of the newer bits that we have on the car is we do have the Cusco front and rear carbon fiber strut tower bars. There was originally Tane ones, which looked cool, but I think the carbon fiber just kind of accents a little bit better. In addition to that, we have a bunch of HKS parts, starting with the HKS SSQV4 blow-off valve, paired up nicely with our cold air intake, as well as our HKS front mount intercooler. Of course, we do have the pop filter. It's very HKS staple. We also have some rare parts on here as well, including the Abbey Road Company or ARC front radiator. We have the APR Performance carbon fiber cooling plate. This is really cool. Actually, these are pretty hard to find still. We have a bunch of Greddy parts throughout this car as well. You'll see some more on the interior, but starting with the engine bay, we have this cool clear timing belt cover. I didn't even know those existed, but they do. In addition, we have the HKS cam gears and timing belt. We have a Greddy power steering cooler. We also have a Greddy oil cooler. We also have a Veilside teardrop catback exhaust. This is a rare part. It's not something that's commonly found, which is really cool. This was actually on the car when I bought it, and it sounds sick. You can hear it kind of idling behind me. You guys have seen the exterior, you've seen under the hood, including all the performance modifications. Now we're gonna check out the interior and see what we got going on. Starting off, again, I've said there's a lot of Veilside bits throughout this car. That includes this Veilside steering wheel. This was a staple of the 90s. They did a limited edition run of these. I believe this was, I think this was number 96 out of 100. And it also gives you the production date on the back of it. And of course has their gold logoing, which is kind of their color, their thing. You guys can see that I'm also sitting in these red Recaro edition seats. We do have them paired nicely with the Takata harnesses. This is for both driver and passenger side. We have a Greddy turbo timer. Yes, this still works. It's actually pretty sick. We also have a Cusco e-brake button. It's just an aesthetic thing. It doesn't really provide much of a performance gain. And we have all kinds of gauges in here. Kind of looks like a fighter pilot jet. So we have a Grady oil pressure gauge, turbo gauge, essentially your boost. We also have water temperature and our oil temperature. So when I bought the car, it came with this pretty cool lap meter. Again, I believe this car was owned by Veilside in the early 2000s. I'm sure that they took it to the track once or twice and they did record, you know, what they were doing. They also had a Blitz collab. It comes with a power meter and a boost controller manually, so you can adjust boost on the fly, which is really sick too. You know, you get that kid in his Honda Civic rolls up next to you, doing a little bang bang. You gotta turn up the boost and just let them know what's up. We also have these HKS floor mats. They're specific for the JZ880. I actually just picked these up and got these in. I think they're a good addition to the interior. If you guys have noticed, I'm trying to go with a red colored theme. Now at the rear end of the car, again, we have the 98 taillights. Anybody that knows Mark IVs knows these are the better version of the taillights that come. No one likes chrome. Darker colors look better. As you can see, we do have that paired nicely Cusco carbon fiber strut tire bar that I mentioned. This is fully gutted. I do plan on doing a custom interior, maybe do some custom, maybe some sort of rear seat delete, and just try to tidy this up. The gutted look is cool, but as you get a little bit older, it's not much of a fan favorite. You kind of want to switch up the taste a bit. We'd also have a Cusco half cage in here as well. It's not necessary, but it's definitely, it helps the aesthetic, and you know, if I were to get in an accident, there is some more structural rigidity there. All right guys, that about wraps it up. There's not much more to this car. If there's anything that I might have missed, I'll maybe drop it in the description, maybe like a little build spec sheet. But other than that, it's not your average Mark IV. You definitely won't see this on the road. I get people that stop all the time and they definitely appreciate the build. We got a lot of changes that will happen with this car over time. I have some other projects that are in the works that are kind of consuming some time and money. We're gonna put a hold on this project for now. Maybe some little odds and ends you guys might see pop up. But if you guys do enjoy content like this, be sure to hit that like, drop some comments down below, leave me some feedback if you guys want to see me do a walk around of some of my other cars. Don't forget to follow me on social media. All my links are always down below. Sometimes you get sneak peeks. I just posted something on my Instagram that hasn't been on the YouTube yet, so make sure you guys head over there and follow that. Other than that, this has been Tyler. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.